always a top destination here in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. First, for the Trailblazers, Lillard and Matthews pair up in the backcourt. And playing at the center position, one of the Lopez twins out of Stanford, 7-foot banger, Robin Lopez. Then there's Batum, and it's Aldridge in at the 4. And looking at the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11 pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the 4 slot.
The Spurs have always been very mindful of resting key players during the regular season. Some of it has to do with the age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years. And if you look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
And Lillard kicks to Matthews. And that one is hammered home.
Yeah, nice fast break from start to finish, guys.
Especially on the back end. I mean, he polished it off perfectly.
Here's Parker. Outside, Green. Back to Parker. The feed now to Leonard. 5 to shoot. Passes to Duncan. Leonard sets a screen for Duncan. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. And back to the Spurs and their strategy of resting their star players, not without some controversy. The NBA, as you may recall, fined the Spurs and Coach Popovich for sitting all their starting players for a nationally televised game back in November.
Well, it was their 4th game in 5 nights, and Pop wanted to rest some of their guys because of just the nature of their schedule. But I think the problem was he didn't give the league advance warning. And that game against Miami, when he rested those 3 players, he actually sent them home. And I think that was a little shot at the league. And that's why there was a problem, and that's why the Spurs and Popovich ended up getting fined.
Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Here's Lillard, following the bucket by the Spurs. Batum, Lopez, defended by Splitter. Lillard, the pass to Matthews. Green with the block. Lillard dishes to Lopez. That's a 2 for Matthews. Leonard attacking. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. The Trailblazers making a switch here. San Antonio shooting their first free throw of the game here. Free throw good, Green. Williams with the ball. With the lead pass, Leonard. It's hauled in by Diaw. The shot misses. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Spurs out in front, up by 3. And off we go, a close game now starting the 2nd quarter. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
So difficult to get a shot off against this defense. They are really playing hard.
Yeah, they're playing hard, and they pride themselves on making it tough for their opponents.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his first foul. Robinson kicks to Williams. Right side, Williams. Outside for Robinson. Clock at 6. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. Batum misses off the left iron.
And the fadeaway was about his only option there. Really good defensive position.
Guys, it's no surprise that a young team like the Blazers found it difficult sledding on the road. not quite the experience or edge needed to put together good performances on a nightly basis away from home.
Trailblazers trail by 3. And Williams, here we go. Soft touch off the glass. Williams has got the first basket of the second quarter for the Trailblazers. Now here's Parker. Well, for the Blazers, statistically, they played as close as you could ask for as to when they played at home, but they didn't really have the roster to protect the rim, and Steve forced turnovers, which is always a big help on the road.
Yeah, their interior defense was a problem last year. A lot of teams just ate them up, particularly when Portland would go out on the road. That's one of the reasons they finished 11-30. You have to be able to defend at a high level to win away from home.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Gentlemen, last year, Greg Popovich received a $250,000 fine from the league for sitting out his starters in that game against Miami. They cracked down, but it wasn't the first time he'd rested his top players on a back-to-back. Pop explained the philosophy this way, saying, quote, "We're making a wiser decision and not a macho decision. It's about health and safety of players, so that we have a shot at the end of the year. If I was taking my son or daughter to the game, I'd be disappointed. So I understand that perspective. Hopefully, they'll understand my perspective. My priority is the basketball team and what is best for it. Guys, it's always a balancing act."
It certainly is. Thank you, Doris. "11 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Well, he was somebody you didn't want to put at the line a year ago. He made 85% of his attempts.
Guys, I thought he got into a groove last year at the charity stripe, and I thought he maintained it deep into the season as well. That's a familiar sight. He hardly ever wastes his chances at the line. Cashes in regularly.
And we're through 2 here and a good one. Spurs lead by 1. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And now it's time to break down the first half for you here on this Wednesday edition of 2K at the Half. San Antonio on top against Portland. A superb effort on defense. They're contesting every shot and sending quite a few back as well. Tim Duncan playing with confidence. We've also seen some help out of Tony Parker. Good overall. Also, though, for the Trailblazers, they haven't settled on tough shots. They're taking it strong inside. They're getting quality shots and a lot of quantity of those quality shots. A nice contribution by Mo Williams. He's giving them a lift. And they love the output they've gotten from Myers Leonard, too. That'll be it for the halftime report. The second half is coming right up. Hope to see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Portland trailing here. Lillard outside. Back to Aldridge. Banked in off the glass. Aldridge has got the first basket of the third quarter for the Trailblazers.
And LaMarcus Aldridge, an all-star for the 3rd straight season. You know, looking back, he's really been the jewel of that 2006 draft class where he went 2nd overall.
Green passes to Parker. Leonard defended by Batum. Leonard attacking. Gets it to go. Leonard's got his first bucket in this one. 7 lead changes now, and we're just in the third quarter.
Yeah, each side having a tough time staying in front.
Well, the fans love it. I mean, a tug-of-war, back and forth affair, but if you're a coach, there's a little frustration here. You're trying to pull ahead, but pretty evenly matched game.
Well, Clark, you talk about Aldridge and what he's meant to the Trailblazers. Really the franchise player, Steve, in Portland. I think they look at him that way.
And for a team that had to rebuild on the fly after losing so many of their key players to injury, going back to Brandon Roy and Greg Oden, it's nice to see the Blazers bounce back and start to get Aldridge some help with guys like Damian Lillard and Batum and Matthews.
Fades back. Leonard, no luck.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one. Short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
And Parker with the block. Now 8 seconds separating the two clubs. And Green slams it in.
Wow, this has been a thriller. I mean, the way these teams are battling, just going back and forth.
Would you like to bet that this game may end on a buzzer beater? How much would you bet?
Parker against Lillard. A floater. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And that call gets an instant reaction from the fans.
Well, that's a whistle that did not go over very well.
He dishes it to Leonard. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. 3/4 of play in a close game here. Trailblazers out in front. They lead by 1. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Trailblazers.
Well, they're getting into the paint with their penetration, and it's really been key for this club.
You know, they're taking care of business in the paint, too. Those are valuable points they've been getting down low.
No good from Duncan. Portland leading. It's Williams with the drive. Rejected by Bellinelli, but they get it there. And Boris Diaw picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Wesley Matthews checked in for Damian Lillard. Aldridge left side. Back to Williams. 6 to shoot. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws.
You know, it doesn't show up in the box score, guys, but he's one of the best in the league at taking charges.
Sometimes even more valuable than a block or a steal. You get the ball and chalk up a foul the other way. It's not pretty. Doesn't necessarily show up in the box score, but it helps you win.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Duncan comes in for Boris Diaw. And Ginobili in for Bellinelli. Damian Lillard's checked in for Portland. Trailblazers leading by 3. Pass to Matthews. Gets the bucket.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
And that is good.
You know, something we're seeing less and less of these days, that little finger roll.
60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Lillard. Back to Matthews. Batum with the 3. It's hauled in by Duncan. And here's Parker. Leonard attacking. Damian Lillard grabs the loose ball.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
And the whistle blows. It'll be on Thiago Splitter. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. The Trailblazers making the switch here. Lopez is checked in.
And that makes it a 2-possession game now. Those could turn out to be vital free throws.
Parker kicks to Ginobili. Fires from deep. Connects! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
So hard to stop Ginobili right now.
I think we'll see them burn the clock a bit here.
You know, I think that's probably a smart move.
I think so, too. Lillard attacking.
I tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
Gets the first, and that narrows the gap to 1. That one drops. He ties it up.
Tremendous job at the foul line as usual. You can always bank on him in these situations.
12 seconds left to play here in the fourth.
Yeah, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happens so fast. I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a two-point ball game.
Those free throws put them in an excellent position to win this game. Now it's in the hands of their defense.
Parker dishes to Ginobili. He's off from three. Ends with a big win by Portland in a tight game. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Damian Lillard.